Welcome back to our channel 217 Prince YT. The episode begins with a man panicking as a dark humanoid figure stands in front of him. The man asks the creature about its identity, and the thing replies by saying, he's not the one either. They're hiding cleverly, aren't they? The brilliant fragments of light. Scyld, the king of snowfolk and the monarch of frost, he notices something behind him. As he turns back, he sees another humanoid demon. The creature's name is Yogimut, the king of demonic specters and the monarch of transfiguration. He tells Scyld that he was there to inform him about the East Island. Scyld asks him if he is talking about the small island, saying it's the place of the shadow monarch, and asks if he has decided to take care of that place. Yogimut tells him that the rulers have decided to release their legions south of that place, adding, "I'll take that place." Scyld asks, "How are you planning on dealing with the shadow monarch, who is also in that place?" Yogimut tells him, "It'll be all right if the planner fulfills the contract." With a smirk on his face, he tells Scyld that the greatest fragment of brilliant light has been confirmed in that place as well. Hearing that, Scyld gets excited, saying, "You intentionally came here to tell me that?" Yogimut asks what he is planning on doing with that information. Scyld tells him, "If you are willing to follow me, then why not?" Scyld, during the conversation, notices something. He tells Yogimut, "It looks like we were being lured here." We see another person walking up to them. Scyld comments, "The person earlier can't possibly wield the power of brilliant fragments of light, so I was wondering why a trace of the power was there. This person plans to get in our way." With rage in his eyes, the man asks them about the small island to the east, asking if they are referring to Korea. Scyld asks him, "What are you going to do about it?" And Yogimut, from behind, tells them, "We do not have time to deal with him." As they start to leave, Scyld tells the man, "Try and stop us if you can." The man starts to charge toward them, saying, "I won't let you escape." As he strikes, Scyld effortlessly blocks the attack with his ice shield, and with a grin on his face, prepares to counterattack. As he lets out his power, a huge explosion covers the area. The scene shifts back to the Red Gate, where Jin-Woo is fighting the boss of the area in order to clear the dungeon and escape. He managed to find the boss, and the creature asked him if he was the one who had been killing his people. It tells Jin-Woo that it was impressed that he managed to reach this far with such a small body, but this is where it all ends. He orders his people to come out, as he had already stationed them to ambush Jin-Woo in this place. But nothing happens. The creature wonders what is going on and why his minions are not responding to the signal. We see Jin-Woo standing there. He tells the creature, "Call me small now." That's funny. He gives the signal, and the place starts to fill up with shadow soldiers as they come out of the forest with the heads of defeated minions. As the soldiers emerge, Jin-Woo taunts the creature, saying, "Seems like no one is left." The creature wonders what is going on, and all of a sudden, he gets hit on the face by something. As he checks, it is another one of the dead minions. He looks towards Jin-Woo, who is standing alongside his army. Seeing this, the creature starts to panic and orders his henchmen to destroy them. Jin-Woo also orders his soldiers to take care of all the enemies, and both sides start to charge toward each other. The fight starts. The shadow soldiers were far superior compared to the advancing enemy, and they started to take out all of them without any issue. Meanwhile, Jin-Woo was making his way towards the boss as tank cleared the path for him. Seeing this, the boss gets furious and charges toward Jin-Woo. But before he could do anything, Beru, along with Igris, starts to cut it down. Beru cuts off one of its arms, while Igris chops off its leg, and the creature falls to the ground. As it looks up, it sees Tusk towering over him, using his ability, inverse gravity, to pin the beast to the ground. With the boss pressed against the ground, Jin-Woo slowly advances toward it. As he gets to the creature's face, he tells the thing, "Now you will answer my questions. It will be less painful for you if you do." After he interrogates the beast, he stands in front of its lifeless body, thinking, it must be the system interfering again. As he was not able to gather any important information from the boss, he opens his inventory, saying, "I'll find out sooner or later anyway, so it should be fine." He brings out a key from his inventory that he received from the cursed random box, thinking, I reached level 100 at the Jeju Island raid and met the minimum requirements to unlock the dungeon. He looked at the key and was able to see its description. It was the key to the Cartion Temple, and a timer was displayed, showing how much time remained before he could enter the dungeon. Once the time ran out, the key would expire. While reading the description, he starts to get flashbacks of the dungeon from the last time he was there, thinking the system was calling him back to the place where it all started. But things were different this time, as he had grown much stronger compared to the last time he was there. He wonders if it was all planned from the beginning, and if it's waiting to return. If that's the case, then wait for me. We see an entity sitting inside the dungeon as it smirks, hearing Jin-Woo say, "I'll be coming soon." Fast forward, we see Jin-Ho sitting in the office as he was taking care of some business. He says, "These haters, sending complaints after getting sued and crying like kids. That won't work." After some time, he was done with the work and thinks he managed to single out all of the groups that are slandering Jin-Woo. As he was resting, he sees Jin-Woo standing behind him, who tells him, "You sure are working hard." Jin-Ho thinks. He comes and goes without even making a sound. Jin-Woo asks him if there was any trouble. He tells him everything was going smoothly and asks him why Jin-Woo was dressed like that. Jin-Woo hands him a bag full of magical cores, saying, "You said we needed money for the guild." Looking at that, Jin-Ho tells him they don't need to worry about salaries for the employees. Jin-Woo asks what he was talking about, and Jin-Ho reminds him they need another member for the guild. To hire someone, they need to pay them salaries. Jin-Woo tells him, "Even if we need a member to just fill in the empty space in the guild, we want someone who is sincere, who can stay and work with us." Jin-Ho, with a serious look, tells Jin-Woo there was one more urgent thing they need to take care of first. They need a name for their guild. Hearing that, Jin-Woo tells him, "I thought it was something really serious." Jin-Ho tells him, "This is a very serious matter." He starts to suggest some names like Sungyu Guild, after Jinwoo's last name, even though Yu-Sung sounds more natural. Or maybe they could be the Wu-Ho Guild, after the last characters in their names, or Jin-Jin Guild, using their middle characters. Hearing all the suggestions, Jin-Woo decides to name the guild Solo Play Guild, explaining, "After all, it's a solo player guild." Hearing that, Jin-Ho thinks, was that supposed to be funny? As they were talking, they heard a knock at the door. Jin-Ho goes to check who it is. The person asks if this is Hunter Jinwoo's guild office. Jin-Ho tells the person, "Yes, it is," and as he looks at the person, he is shocked to see it is Hunter Cha. Jin-Ho asks her what she was doing there, and Cha replies by saying she wishes to join his guild. After they sit down, Jin-Woo asks her to please clarify why she was there. Hunter Cha tells him, "Like I said, I want to join your guild." Hearing that, Jin-Woo thinks, "I'm so confused about what's going on." He asks her if the chairman asked her to join his guild, or if maybe Hunter Choi kicked her out of the guild. She tells him that's not the reason. Jin-Woo, with a serious look on his face, asks her, "So why would you want to join my solo play guild?" She is surprised to hear that name and asks him if he really named his guild that. Jin-Woo tells her, "Yes, what's the problem with the name? The vice master and I agreed to it." Jin-Ho tells him he never agreed to anything, asking, "What about the names that I suggested?" Jin-Woo tells him, "You didn't say anything, so I thought you agreed." He thinks, "Let's not decide on the name so suddenly, as my judgment is pretty clouded because the situation right now is confusing." He looks at Cha, thinking about her pulse, breath, and expression. She's pretending to be calm, but she can't fool me. "Just why are you trying to join my guild?" He asks her, "It's been 2 years since you have been awakened. I assume that you're still in contract with the Hunter Guild." She tells him, "I have enough money to pay the penalty." Hearing that, Jin-Woo thinks she is even willing to pay the penalty and tells her, "Our guild currently doesn't have enough resources to compensate for a hunter like you." She tells him, "That's no problem, as I don't need a down payment either." He asks her, "Why would you want to join our guild then, as there is nothing for you to gain here?" She starts thinking, how should I explain this? Even if I do, it'll definitely sound crazy because at first, I was just drawn by the fact that his mana didn't smell like the other hunters. But during the Jeju Island raid, I thought I was going to die. The story shifts to the past, when Cha regained consciousness after the Jeju Island raid. She asks the chairman where she is, and the chairman explains that she was inside a helicopter, and they had just landed at the Hunters Association. Soon they'll send you and the Hunters to the hospital, he says. She asks about Jin-Woo and if he was the one who saved them from that monster. The chairman tells her, yes, it was him. Hearing that, Cha thinks it wasn't a dream and wonders, I almost died this time, and a similar situation might happen in the future, where I can't possibly avoid death. We see Cha in the present, as she was thinking about how she should explain everything to him. She starts to blush, thinking, I wish to stand by your side till the very end. Seeing her like this, Jin-Woo wonders, what's up with her? Is it something she can't tell me? As she was trying to calm down, Jin-Woo thought, why can't you answer me? Looking at her blushing face, he could tell that she was hiding something. He asks her, so, you won't answer me? Cha replies, I want to live comfortably. Is something wrong with that? Hearing her answer, Jin-Woo thinks, Hunter Cha is only 22 or 23 years old, and the burden of being an S rank must be hard for her. The Hunters also suffered greatly during the Jeju Island raid, so I can understand why she wants to join us. Jin-Woo tells her, there's an entrance test for our guild. She tells him, that wasn't in the recruiting notice. Jin-Woo tells her, maybe the guild vice master made a mistake since it's a new rule. He asks Jin-Ho to go and fetch them some drinks and snacks. After he leaves, Hunter Cha asks him, what kind of test is it? Jin-Woo tells her, you have to win against one of my summons. Cha asks him, am I that much of a weakling in your eyes? What kind of summon is it? Jin-Woo, hearing that, tells her, for you. Hunter Cha, I'll use my strongest summon. They start to get up, and Cha asks him, when's the test? Jin-Woo tells her, let's do it now, and suggests, how about we do it in the gymnasium of the association? He thinks, this is a good chance for me to test if I can use the shadow exchange with two people. He tells her, you don't have to leave. We can use a shortcut. He gets close to her, saying, we just have to stick together for a bit. When they were ready, Jin-Woo uses shadow exchange, and they both get covered by the darkness. Meanwhile, Jin-Ho was entering the room with something to eat, and after entering, he sees a high orc standing in front of him instead of Jin-Woo and Cha. They both stare at each other awkwardly as the orc takes the food from his hand and eats it in one bite. The scene shifts to the gymnasium, where the two had teleported. Cha is surprised and asks Jin-Woo, how did you do that? Meanwhile, Jin-Woo thinks, I was right. The shadow exchange works as a gateway since I was able to move with a person in it. He tells Cha, let's get started. She tells him she left her weapon behind, and Jin-Woo asks, are you talking about that pickaxe? Cha tries to explain, that's not my weapon. Jin-Woo, smiling, tells her, I was just kidding. She tells Jin-Woo that there might be a weapon worth borrowing in the storage. She opens the door and sees a room filled with weapons. She thinks, these weapons are reserves, so they aren't that good, but they're suitable for practice. She comes out with a sword, telling Jin-Woo she was ready. Jin-Woo asks, will you be all right? That's not the weapon you normally use. Cha tells him, the weapon doesn't matter, as the monsters never fight on their terms anyway. Jin-Woo thinks, she's right. He wonders, who should I summon? An ordinary soldier would be shredded to pieces. He summons Igris, saying, among my soldiers, he is the best swordsman. She asks him, what are the conditions for winning or losing? Jin-Woo explains, you either win by destroying the summon, or you lose when you decide to surrender. He thinks, I said I'd call my strongest soldier to test her, but Biru is too much for her. After they had prepared, Jin-Woo gave the signal to start the test. He noticed her gathering up her mana, and a thought hits him about what she said. Weapons don't matter. He stopped them, saying, wait a moment, and asked Cha to turn back. As she did, he starts to take out a weapon from his inventory. It was the Demon King's long sword. He hands it to Igris, telling him to use it and tells them to start now. They both prepare to fight. Igris, using the sword's ability, launches a powerful wave of electricity toward Cha, but before the attack lands, she manages to dodge it. Seeing this, Jin-Woo thinks, as expected, she's fast. If this were an average person, they would have died at the slightest scratch of that swing. As the fight continues, they start to exchange blows, creating a lot of noise that attracts the attention of Chairman Go Gunhee, who was sitting in his office. He thought there wasn't supposed to be anyone in the gym today. He called someone, asking them to connect the CCTV footage inside the gym to his room. As he looks at the footage, he notices it is Jin-Woo and Hunter Cha. He wonders when these two entered the building. He remembers Cha's expression from the time when he told her Jin-Woo was the one who saved her and, with a smile, thinks, I really was blind. He tells the person on the call to turn off all the CCTV cameras in the gym and write down that there was an inspection today. After that, we see the chairman sitting calmly in his office when suddenly the ground starts to shake. After everything quiets down, he says, as expected, they're enjoying their youth. Meanwhile, Jin-Woo was surprised to see something. He saw that Igris was defeated by Hunter Cha. She asks him, was the Black Knight the strongest one you have? You said you'd summon your strongest, didn't you? Please summon him now. Hearing that, Jin-Woo tells her, you might get hurt. But she replies, it'll be fine, because I would like to fight him once again. She sees a dark aura emerging behind Jin-Woo as he summons Baru. He asks her if she is sure she will be okay. He thinks the shadow soldiers are weaker than their living counterparts, but even so, Baru was created for the sole purpose of killing hunters. He was born as a weapon. If he goes all out against Hunter Cha, her chances of winning will be slim. As Baru advances, he asks Jin-Woo, what should I do about this person? Jin-Woo explains, defeat her, but make sure she doesn't get hurt. Hearing that, Baru lets out a powerful mana wave, shattering all the lights and windows in the building. Sensing his power, Cha thinks, did Jin-Woo actually fight against this guy? Baru fully transforms and prepares to fight. But before they can start, Jin-Woo orders him to put those claws away, warning him that life won't be easy if he injures her during the test. Baru, scared by those words, complies and retracts his claws. As he was distracted, Cha saw an opportunity and decided to attack. But to her shock, Baru was already behind her. She thought, this is the same move as last time, and swung her sword towards him, saying, do you think I'm going to fall for the same trick twice? But before the sword reaches Baru, he stops it by grabbing it. He then lets go of the weapon, saying, my liege, give me one command to defeat my foe without causing her any harm, and I'll show her the difference between our strength, making her lose the will to fight. As Cha starts to attack, he dodges all of them with ease. She thinks, I'm not done yet, and swings her sword, but Baru dodges it effortlessly. Seeing this, Cha thinks, he's dodging all my attacks from this distance without even moving from his place. As she was thinking, Baru got in her face and screamed, scaring her. The force of the scream was so strong that it threw her back a couple of feet. Looking at this, Jin-Woo thinks, seems the winner of this match has been decided, and asks her, are you satisfied now? But Hunter Cha, not giving up, tells him, not yet. I can still fight. Hearing that, Jin-Woo wonders, what's she thinking? I don't think she'd be reckless enough to keep fighting even after realizing the difference in strength. Because Baru is different from other shadow soldiers, he may be intelligent, but he's still a killing machine at heart. Jin-Woo thinks, even now, I can feel his overwhelming thirst to kill. If she's aiming for a weak spot, I just hope she won't make a misstep. Meanwhile, Baru tells Cha, at a single glance, a creature can recognize whether they are the predator or the prey. He charges towards her, saying, a prey standing up against their predator cannot be tolerated, and attacks her, but she dodges it just in time. He looks at her preparing to strike again and sees that she is gathering mana around her for an attack. She launches the attack towards him, hitting him on the shoulder, but his exoskeleton is too hard, and the weapon shatters into pieces. But that was her plan all along. She says, now's my chance, thinking, I don't have enough mana, so I can only use this once, but it should be enough. Using her skill, Sword of Light, she attacks Baru and manages to pierce through his hard exoskeleton. Jin-Woo, scared after seeing this, senses for a brief moment that a quick and simple command had resurfaced in Baru's mind. A command given to him by the queen upon his birth, annihilate all enemies. Baru says, this woman is my enemy, and prepares to attack with the intention of killing her. Seeing this, Jin-Woo orders him to stop, but Baru isn't responding. Seeing this as the end, Cha closes her eyes. An explosion occurs. When she opens her eyes, she sees Jin-Woo has saved her once again. Baru, Snapping back to his senses, jumps back as Jin-Woo helps Cha back to her feet. He falls to his knees, asking for Jin-Woo's forgiveness. Meanwhile, Jin-Woo is more concerned about Cha and asks her, "Why were you trying so hard? There's no need for you to go to these lengths to join our guild. This is just a test, an entrance test for a nameless guild. A hunter of your caliber shouldn't risk their life over something like this." He asks her again, "Why were you going to such lengths? Are you perhaps interested in me?" Hearing those words, Cha is surprised, while Jin-Woo thinks, maybe that's not the reason either. I just can't tell what she's up to. As he's thinking, he hears something. It was Cha who was telling him, "I think that might be the case." The story shifts to America, where Michael Connor and Mrs. Sellner are present in front of the director of the Federal Bureau of Hunters, David Brennan. He asks them about their meeting with Jin-Woo and why they were unable to convince him to join the United States. Michael explains that, based on Mrs. Sellner's observation, Hunter Jin-Woo is one of the kings. The director was surprised to hear those words and asked if they were saying that Hunter Jin-Woo was as powerful as a national-level hunter. Mrs. Sellner starts to explain what she saw when she was inside his head. All awakened hunters draw their power from a place called the other side, and the connection between the two parties is what I can sense. Sometimes, the force from the other side is so intense that some hunters appear as streaks of blinding light. I usually refer to them as kings, but in his case, I saw no such connection. The moment I looked into his eyes, the darkness inside him stared back at me. He was the darkness itself. After hearing about what she saw, the director asks her if she is saying that Jin-Woo is an evil person. She tells him, "No, rather I am telling you about his source of power. Hunter Jin-Woo does not borrow his strength from somewhere else. He does not use the connection to channel his power like the other awakened. He uses his own strength, so the limitations of the connection don't apply to him." Michael asks if she is saying that there is no limit to Jin-Woo's power, and that he can grow even stronger. Mrs. Sellner nods, telling him, "Yes, that is what I'm saying." After hearing all that, David Brennan gets up and starts to leave, thanking Mrs. Sellner for the information. He asks Michael to join him as he was going to the basement, level 24. While going down in the elevator, David Brennan tells Michael, "If we can't use Mrs. Sellner's abilities to get him, then we must find another way," and asks if he remembers the first ever S-rank gate that opened. Michael replies, "Of course I do. It was the most catastrophic dungeon break to date, which destroyed the entire West Coast area." David Brennan explains, "During that incident, America recruited the world's strongest hunters by offering them a huge reward, and out of those hunters, only 5 survived the raid. Each of them was given authority equal to that of a nation, which gave birth to the title of national-level hunters." He goes on by saying, "Kamish, the dragon also known as the inextinguishable flame, was a monster that single-handedly killed hundreds of the top-rank hunters. But there was a silver lining to that tragedy." Michael asks if he was talking about that. As the door opens, David Brennan tells him to see for himself. Michael is surprised to see a runestone that was found in Kamish's corpse. David Brennan tells him, "It's been 8 years since the Kamish raid, and there has yet to be a mage-class national-level hunter. So, this runestone has been waiting in this cold basement for its rightful owner to arrive for quite some time now. However, Kamish will once again bestow a valuable gift upon this beautiful country." The story shifts to Jin-Woo, who is standing in the shower, looking in the mirror, unable to believe that a girl told him she is interested in him. He thinks, "I can definitely tell that since my reawakening I've grown a few inches and gotten in better shape, but am I really that attractive? Could it be because of the buffs I gained from the skill, will to survive, that any damage to the body will be restored, which is why my skin cleared up too?" He goes to Jinoa's room, asking her, "How would you rate me?" She asks him, "In terms of what?" Jin-Woo responds, "In terms of my attractiveness." She asks him, "Where the heck is that confidence coming from? In my eyes, you just look like a bum." Hearing that, Jin-Woo gets annoyed and says, "Thanks for your biased opinion," and she starts to kick him. He tells her, "Keep that up and you will end up breaking your leg. Did you forget who your big brother is? How does a bird brain like you even get into school?" She tells him she is the top of her class. After the brother-sister drama, Jin-Woo tells her he was planning on forming a new guild, and she asks if he will be the big boss now. While she is telling her friend on the phone about the conversation they just had, how Jin-Woo thinks he was attractive and adds, he's finally lost it. Jin-Woo asks her what she thinks about the name Solo Play Guild, and she tells him, why would you name your guild that? You use your abilities to summon those shadow soldiers, so technically you are not a solo player. Jin-Woo thinks that's a good point and asks her what he should name his guild. She suggests a Jin guild, explaining the character Ah means I and Jin means to go forward. Hearing that, Jin-Woo shows some interest in the name. The story shifts to Hunter Cha's house, who was making a fuss in her room, remembering today's incident. She says, I basically told him that I like him. He probably thinks I'm crazy, but he did save my life, so of course, I'd be interested in him. Thinking it's perfectly okay, who am I kidding? Everything is totally not okay. As she was lying there, she started to think, strictly speaking, I was able to survive because of Hunter Min's healing ability. As she was thinking, she suddenly recalls something. She remembers when she was unconscious, she saw something in a vision. As she remembers, a hand grabbed her while she was drifting away. The person asked her, please tell him. And as she looked back, it was Hunter Min who was asking her to tell him that he must be careful. Tell Hunter Jin-Woo that he must be careful of the power that lies within him. Remembering that, she springs back up, saying, I remember now. Fast forward to the next day. We see Park Jin-soo and Jung Yoon-tae talking. Jung Yoon-tae tells him that yesterday a gate appeared in their territory, but it will be difficult to get a raid permit for it. According to the Hunters Association, the gate's rank is quite high. Park Jin-soo asks if it is an S-rank gate. Jung Yoon-tae replies no, but they say it's near to being one. Hearing that, Park Jin-soo tells him that they all could end up dying in there if they are not careful. Jung Yoon-tae explains if it was an S-rank, giving up would have been the best option as they don't have the manpower for such a powerful gate. But we are one of the 5 major guilds in the country, so people might start talking if we fail to clean it. Adding, the guys over at the Fame Guild will jump at the opportunity if we pass on this gate. Hearing that, Park Jin-soo gets furious, saying, are you saying we should just spoon-feed Ma Dongwook a gate that spawned right in front of our yard? Jung Yoon-tae, scared, tells him, I was just letting you know, that's all. As they are discussing what to do, a woman comes from the back and asks them, why don't we just form an alliance with another guild? Then Park Jin-soo asks if there will be another guild that might agree to that when it's obvious that we are only asking for help because we don't think we can clear the gate by ourselves. The girl, whose name is Young Yi Rim, who is an A-rank healer, suggests, instead of a guild, how about an individual person? Park Jin-soo tells her, this is a top-tier A-rank gate we're talking about. How would a single hunter make even a slight difference? As he was telling her that, he remembers about Jin-Woo. Young Yi Rim tells him, you know who I'm talking about. Park Jin-soo thinks creating an alliance might give them a bad name, but the public might acknowledge us more if we join forces with Hunter Jin-Woo and asks what Hunter Jin-Woo is up to these days. Jung Yoon-tae reports that he recently cleared a gate that spawned in the middle of a highway, but besides that, he's been keeping a low profile and asks Park Jin-soo if he wants him to get his contact info. But Park Jin-soo stops him by saying it wouldn't be right to handle such an important matter over the phone and tells them, let's go pay him a visit. The story shifts to Jin-Woo, who is talking with Jin-ho about the name of their guild. He suggests the name a Jin. Hearing that, Jin-ho agrees with him that this is the perfect name, while thinking anything is better than Solo Play Guild. After deciding on the name, Jin-Woo tells him, now we just need to recruit one last member, and we will officially form a guild. Jin-ho asks him what happened with Hunter Cha. Jin-Woo tells him, I don't think it'll work out with Hunter Cha. She's not exactly who I've been looking for. Jin-ho, after hearing that, is shocked, thinking, she is an S-rank hunter with an excellent record of dungeon raids. On top of that, she is beautiful as well. No matter how you look at it, she's pretty much perfect. He asks Jin-Woo what kind of person he is looking for anyway. He tells Jin-ho that someone with a hunter's license is not interested much in their guild activities, but it should be someone he can trust. Hearing that, Jin-ho tells him, I think I have a couple of people in mind that can fulfill your requirements. As they are discussing, they hear a knock on the door. Jin-Woo goes to answer, thinking, don't tell me it's Hunter Cha again. As he looks, he sees Park Young-soo along with Young Yerim and Jung Yoon-tae, who introduces himself as the guild master of the Night Guild. Seeing them at their door, Jin-Woo and Jin-Ho wonder why they came to their guild office. After the introductions, they sit down, and Park Young-soo starts to explain the situation to Jin-Woo. He shows him a video of the gate that recently appeared in Korea. He tells Jin-Woo that this gate is huge in size and was giving out a massive amount of magic energy. Jin-Woo asks if it was an S-rank gate. Park Young-soo tells him no, but it is close to being an S-rank, adding, "This is the largest gate to ever appear in Busan." Hearing the location of the gate, Jin-Woo started to wonder if he should meet with Miss Ji-hee like the old times and have her treat him to sashimi. Meanwhile, Park Young-soo was telling him the reason for his visit was because the association doesn't want to issue the raid permit to their guild as their guild lacks an S-rank hunter and asks Jin-Woo to join them in this raid so they can acquire this gate. Young Yoon-tae, in the back, was thinking if she should ask for Jin-Woo's autograph. Park Young-soo proposes the deal to Jin-Woo, saying usually when an S-rank hunter participates in a raid, he takes 10% of the share. But he is willing to give him 20% of the profits for this dungeon. Jin-Woo, hearing that, tells him to make it 50-50, adding, "I will cooperate if you are willing to ally with my guild and not just with me as an individual," telling them he just happened to establish a guild under the name of Jin Guild. Park Young-soo tells him, "In that case, let's do it 40-60. Jin-Woo tells him he wasn't trying to bargain with the Night Guild as he was not the one who needed help. Hearing that, Park Young-soo thinks, "I thought things would work out just fine because he's still young and looks friendly, but I see now that he is no pushover," and agrees on the condition that Jin-Woo will take care of the boss. After the discussion, Park Young-soo tells Jin-Woo that the gate appeared a couple of days ago, so they need to start the raid tomorrow at the latest and asks Jin-Woo to come with them. But Jin-Woo tells him, "No, I will see you guys tomorrow. I have some errands to check on," saying, "I won't make you guys wait." While talking, Jin-Woo receives a call and wonders who it is. He excuses himself, saying he'll be back after attending this call. He answers the phone, and it is his mother. He asks her if she bought a new phone and if she was calling at the wrong time. Jin-Woo tells her it's nothing like that and tells her, "Let's have dinner together tonight." Fast forward to the next day, we see a huge crowd next to the gate in Busan. These were all hunters from the Knights Guild who were preparing to participate in the raid. Park Young-soo, already in his armor, was looking at his phone, thinking, "We should have made him come with us yesterday," and wondered if he was going to be late. Looking at the time, he said, "We will be leaving in 5 minutes." Meanwhile, Jin-Woo was getting ready to head to the location. Looking at the weather, he wondered if Jaina brought an umbrella with her, and using his shadow exchange, he teleports to the location. The scene shifts to Jaina's school, where some students are walking in the hallway, discussing the art teacher who was making them do all the work that he was supposed to do himself. After arriving in a classroom, they notice it was all dusty, as the place was closed for a while and no one cleaned it. In a corner, one of the students notices something. He sees a gate and tells his friends about it. He approaches it, saying, "What are you scared of? The gate is secure when it is closed like this, and only the hunters can enter or come out of it," saying it will take about a week for the gate to open. Hearing that, one of the boys tells them that the place was left neglected for the whole semester. As they were talking, they failed to notice that cracks started to form on the gate's seal. All of a sudden, a hand comes out of it, grabbing the head of the boy standing next to the gate. He starts to struggle, trying to free himself. He looks at his friends, asking for help, but it was too late, as the creature crushes his skull right in front of his friends. The students see a humanoid monster coming out of the gate. Chapter end here. For more, like, share, and subscribe.